brings me to another change that has happened, and I'm so happy about it because I became the owner of a fleet of many things. This is one thing that I really wanted to share with you guys, but I never had a chance, so I'm gonna share it with you now. My name is Queen Desta, and I was born in Kenya. For more than 20 years I lived in Kenya and decided to explore the world. In the long run, found myself settling in Ethiopia. Now, I was attracted to Ethiopia because of how different it was compared to other African countries that I had visited, and I thought that would be a good adventure for us to explore. Wow, I did not know how much more growing, how much more stretching, and how much more learning and adjustment and change was going to happen in my life even when I moved back to Kenya. That's why today I'm here to share with you lots of differences and changes that have happened in my life since I moved from Ethiopia back to Kenya. Now it's up to close to 3 months, and I'm happy to report that in the midst we've been employed and we've also quit the job. So stick around as I'll share with you more of these details. Life in Ethiopia, I was alone. I was living in this beautiful, calm, chill, small space for myself, and I enjoyed just caring about my own space, the things that I do, and life really revolved around Damaris, or Queen Desta as we like calling her. And I would wake up, make my bed. You guys even remember we went through a session of making my own bed, like handcrafting things and just making things happen, because life was easy, no much pressure, and enjoying my space, feeling I own nothing and I'm happy. It was really a good life. Coming back to Kenya, life has really changed. Now I live with family. It's no longer life about me. I do not necessarily remember the last time I was in a room alone, and not to say it's something I'm looking forward to having again. It's different seasons of life, right? But my life is also about to adjust to a different scenario. We are talking about engagement, and that means we are about to talk about, we're talking about marriage, and that means not being alone for another whole entire different season. And once we move into the family line, the whole idea of living alone seems to be like a story I'll be hearing from my younger siblings or friends or whatever, other people, right? So that has really changed. I no longer have a space to myself. I share space with my family, which I love. I'm not complaining, but for sure I will miss having my own space, just a little bit, to put some flowers on the wall, to just do some decorations, no pressure. So that is one of the things that has really changed in my life since I moved back to Kenya. Now, talking about moving and the reason why people even end up living in quote-unquote family, I also have to say in Ethiopia I did not live with family because most of the time I was alone either way. When my sister visited, we stayed together for just a month and she had to go. But because I was alone and I don't have siblings to host, I don't have other siblings to host me or family to host me, then in that way, that's how I ended up easily being able to stay alone. But we find a lot of co-sharing to save on cost and stuff like this, and that's what has been happening to me here in Kenya. Well, lots of family details, but what I'm coming down to is the cost of living in Kenya is not cheap. Let's say it's affordable for some people and it's expensive for some. And I salute anyone who says cost of living in Kenya is cheap. Actually, for me, compared to Ethiopia, the cost of living has really pushed my limits here in Kenya. Some of the things that I used to do, I no longer do. For example, in Ethiopia, I used to eat out every other day. Eating out was the order of the day. I had a record of saying I have stayed more than 3 years without cooking because I would eat out. I would go get my macchiato. I would share food with others. It was good, easy life. When you come here in Kenya, one, individualism kicks in. Two, if you eat out, some good amount of your money will be spent on eating out. And three, you're still trying to figure out and settle some balances and finances here and there. So it's not been easy. I've eaten out, I won't lie, but I've not eaten out as many times as I used to in Ethiopia. And for sure, I do miss that. I miss the confidence of knowing that in Ethiopia, I would go to any restaurant, any, and be able to afford a meal or two. Unlike in Kenya, it can be a shocker based on how fast the bill can pile. Anyway, we ain't complaining because they said this is what adulthood is about, right? But that is one of the things that has greatly changed in my stay here in Kenya. I have learned how to cook. I have learned how to make smoothies. I have learned how to make coffee. I have become the person that I'm looking forward to. What is our next exploring kind of food or type of food? I've been enjoying making food such that when even I'm going out and being like, I think I can do better. This was not me. This is a major life change that has happened. In relation to the eating out, another concept that has greatly changed is transport. In Ethiopia, I was a spoiled girl. I would take taxis everywhere because it wasn't expensive. Come on. It was, if you take a 300 birr taxi, you've really gone a very, very, very long distance. When I mean taxi, I mean cabs, I mean Uber and stuff. But here in Kenya, it's quite different. Oof, you feel the pinch. The money piles up so fast. It's not as cheap compared to then. So now I won't say I've fully gone back to matatus because I still have a form of irritation along that line. But it's not been every time taking cabs. I've had instances where I'm enjoying and jabbing to the music in the matatus, which is good vibes. I love it. Yeah, but for convenience and comfort sometimes, I don't like it. Anyway, that led me to being like, you know what? Maybe we have a financial situation going on, and I decided, let's get a job. And so Damaris thought on the security aspect, and also because I've been challenged on the stability and settling concept, maybe if I get a job or if I take up a job that gives me a consistent income and I don't have to be out here doing entrepreneurial stuff or self-employed stuff, depending on how you call it, then I'm gonna do fine. And yes, I took up the job, which in the long run it will be a story for another day. But I have to say, within those 3 months, I've been able to identify that there were people that were created to be employed, and there were those that were created to employ others. And I stand in the to employ others. And if you can hear me, if you can hear this and you're watching this and you are a video editor or a videographer, please reach out because I'm looking to employ in Queen Desta, and I'm happy to report to you that even as we came back, Queen Desta has grown, maybe not on what you can currently see, as there's no much difference. There was some stagnation, but Queen Desta has grown in terms of the production side of life, in terms of the strategy, and in terms of the things that we are working on. And I'm excited for you guys to see what we have in store in the next remaining months of the year. And talking about the year, it reminds me another difference that I've really been experiencing is lack of celebrations. Today marks New Year's in Ethiopia in September. And if I was in Ethiopia, for sure, today would be a day I know I am meeting up with people to celebrate, to have a good time, to jump up and down. But here in Kenya, still a work day. And even if today was New Year's, we would not be anywhere jumping fires or just doing those cool stuff and gathering up with other people. But it is what it is. We don't complain. That also brings me to another change that I have experienced a lot ever since I came back from Ethiopia, and some things that have changed about me and about my way of doing life is in Ethiopia we used cash all the time. Like, well, sometimes you could use card, but rarely. And even if it's card, it's an Ethiopian using the Ethiopian card or a local card, but not an international card. Mostly was to withdraw money at ATMs, end of story. But life here in Kenya has really become so cashless that in the list of places you will find ways in which people are using mobile money, which is a good, interesting thing. It's funny because even by the time I was leaving to Ethiopia, I was still knowing about, of course, the mobile money thing was still here. But for me, I was not used to using mobile money for the most least thing you would ever think of. Maybe let me give an example. If you go buying corn here, corn is like 20 cents in dollars. You're gonna pay that using mobile money, using M-Pesa. And those are still some of my shockers, and I still find myself withdrawing money and using cash and just enjoying the convenience of having cash with me. But I also enjoy sometimes, it's like an interchange thing, but I've been enjoying the whole concept and how fully cashless Kenya has become. A very exciting thing that has changed since I was in Ethiopia and moving to Kenya is I've become a multifaceted person, individual, and I've really been enjoying the whole learning on the investment world and how to make money work for me. And we've diversified into many other different ways. Maybe one day I'll come to you and we'll have this discussion as I tell you about some of the other things that I'm doing apart from just YouTube. And of course we have to talk about this change that as well has happened, that I became inconsistent on YouTube, which was not planned. It just happened. Life took like such situations that I was like, you know what, we're gonna come back on YouTube when we have all the strength and are able to be as consistent as we can always be. And that brings me to another change that has happened, and I'm so happy about it because I became the owner of a fleet of many things. This is one thing that I really wanted to share with you guys, but I never had a chance, so I'm gonna share it with you now. So I had, this reminds me, I never shared my birthday celebration and all the good things that happened around that time. If you want to see that, I still have the content. Let me know in the comment section down below. I'll be happy to share with you. But one thing that I have been blessed so much ever since I moved to Kenya was what I'm about to tell you right now. So in Ethiopia, I remember several times coming to you guys and crying here with you and taking you on my glasses contact lens journey, and my glasses breaking, you guys being together with me on that journey. And so I'm here today to celebrate and to share with you on how I have been blessed to not only have one well smudged pair of glasses, but two, maybe not two, a whole fleet of glasses. Yeah, this has been one of my biggest flex for the past few days. So if there's something that has really changed, is you guys will be seeing me in different glasses. I'll be, you know, looking cool, you know, feeling myself. And one of my other highlight was the fact that I can also now have shades. If there's something I ever wanted to experience in my life, is to wear glasses, is to wear shades now, because I'm in the world of glasses. But unfortunately it becomes tricky because I cannot see with any shades. But these ones, I can see you guys. Anyway, this is a blessing in my life. This is one major thing that has changed that I'm so grateful for. That as I'm walking around, if my glasses fall, I'm never freaked out on what's gonna happen. One day maybe I'll break down the whole story on what happened with the glasses issues for anyone who would be interested to know. Or maybe I should just write a newsletter or share on Instagram. So just follow me and make sure that we are together on this journey. Anyway, I've been blessed in that way. I've also been blessed with so many other things that maybe soon I should keep you up to date if you're interested in knowing some other interesting things that I've added up into my life that have been making my life way better. Anyway, let's get into some things that I can see you Well, I could still see you, but now so you guys can also see me. Life has really changed, and I've also been away on YouTube, and I wanted to come back in a way that I'm not saying, hey, I'm sorry, I'm back, because I don't want to be that YouTuber, but also in a way that I'm bringing you some catching up with my life and what I have been up to. But I'm happy to say that I'm finally back, like I never left. Road to 100k. Guys, please, if you made it to this part of the video and you have not subscribed, please subscribe, because I ain't joking. I am back. I don't know why I changed my accent, but really, in all honesty, I am back, and I'm excited to continue on creating time for that which ignites my soul. Because one thing that had really changed is when you stop creating time for that which ignites your soul, then other things will create time for you. Like, your time will be occupied with many other things, and unfortunately that's what happened in my life sometime back. Ever since when I came back, like, let's say the last 2 months, I decided to put other things before my own things, but I'm happy that I'm back on track, and I'm back on creation, and I'm back to Queen Desta, took some trail. Just stick around, because it's gonna be an interesting ride moving forward. Thank you so much, and always remember to create time for that which ignites your soul. Until next time.